guys, in this video I'll go over the basics of flanking. So in this example we have the enemies in this area on the left hand side and us on the right hand side. The objective is for us to get over to this side. So a common way in squad that people will do it is just run straight across the field, but that will get you killed, because what happens is the enemy will see you, they'll position all in here and they'll fire on it. So what you want to do is take advantage of the nature of the enemy thinking that you'll do that, and you want to set up a base element. This should be about 3 guys, and it should consist of an LMG, grenadiers, and anybody which can really make a big loud noise. They should get in a very defendable position, such as these houses, or maybe if there's some rocks around here, any really good defendable position that they can hide behind. What they want to do is create as much noise as possible onto this enemy. So fire your LMGs at them, throw smokes, throw grenades if you need to, whatever. But what you want to do is you want to get the attention of the enemy. So usually what happens is when we're doing loads of firing is all the squad members will start looking at this area. They'll report back to their squad leaders and they'll say there's some enemies over here. So then what happens is the squad leaders and everybody wants to go and get some kills, so they go over here and they presume, because of the amount of fire you put on them, that this has to be a lot of people. Well, in reality it's only 3 of you, and the rest of your squad, what you want to do is you want to send them to flank around. So you could do the north and the south, and you want to look at basically what's the quickest way you can get there without being seen, and you want to actually do quite a long flank. So in this example I'd use these forests up here because we can hide quite well. So what you should do is you should go up here and hide. Try not to fire on anyone if you can. You want to sneak around. Place a rally around here. And then what you want to do is pull down and get into a defendable position such as here. And then you want to start firing on the enemy and try and take them out with a bit of kind of finesse. So we've got our guys here and these guys here. Now what will happen is usually there'll be one guy there and the rest will go hunting for the more immediate threat up here. So you've got your bulk of your squad and you've got 3 guys here. These 3 guys should continue firing. What this does is it causes confusion for the enemy. They're a bit confused at where they're actually being attacked from, because they thought they were being attacked from here, but now they're being attacked from up here. So this is causing a lot of confusion, and with these guys continue on firing, then you've kind of split and you've kind of got them into this kind of circle. So the enemy will usually try and flank around you, so you can be careful, because I see a lot of times in squad that they'll be doing the same tactics. But what you can do is, this is on a large level flank, but you can also do it on a smaller level. So you can take 1 or 2 guys, maybe someone with a big firepower, to fire on them, and you send your squad around here. What this does is again causes the enemy to split up. Before you know what's happening is they've created themselves into a circle here. So now you've got squad members looking in each way, and your squad is dealing with smaller amounts of enemies. Instead of a whole 9-man squad firing at you, you're now firing at 3 guys each way. So this is a lot more manageable, and especially if you've got good firepower, it can work. And then what will usually happen is, whilst your squad's taken out, these guys then can run across the field and then start engaging them. And when they go up to here, again, they can send someone around to flank. Eventually what you'll get is, if you keep flanking like this, the circle will get smaller and smaller until you eliminate them. So that is the base tactic of how you would do it. So that's one method. So something to note is these don't always work, and always be prepared to retreat if they don't. What you really want to do is make them surprised and confused. Confusion in squad is what can kill a squad. So if a squad leader is very confused at where they're being attacked from, they can call them to split up. So you don't want them to be all one cohesive squad. Say if this is 1 person, so that's a 9-man squad, you don't want them all to be here. You want them to be as split up as possible around the objective, because that's a lot easier to take 1 at a time instead of 9 which are working closely together. So this is a good way to kind of split them up. So the other way you could do this is called a pincer attack, and this is quite commonly used in the army. So say we got the guys here again. What we're going to do is we set up an element squad, for a 3-man squad, fire at them. So this enemy is all now looking this way because they think they're being attacked from this way. And then what you want to do is you want to split your squad into 2. So you'd get 3 guys to come up this way, and then you want to get another 3 guys to come up this way. And then what you want to do is engage them each side. What will happen, you want to try and get as close to them as possible and kill as many as you can, because you're on each side of them. What this causes is, again, the enemy to go up here and the enemy to go up here, and maybe one there, for example. So now they're fighting on 3 fronts. what you can do then is send your squad up here. As they come down here, you want to flank around them or flank around there. And as they come up here, you want to flank around there and flank around there. So effectively what we're doing is we're creating a circle again, and when you fire on them, you create a circle to get smaller and smaller. They can easily push out of the circle, and as you keep flanking, and if you keep constantly flanking and keep flanking again, then eventually what will happen is you will encircle them and destroy them. And I have used this tactic before in squad, and it does work very well. The only problem which I found from experience with pincer attacks is there's a risk of friendly fire, first of all, because you've got guys coming up from here and here. It can get a bit confusing, especially if you're throwing grenades and stuff. It's a lot easier when you do one flank because there's only 2 angles of attack, so be careful of that. The main thing as well is timing. You want to attack, this squad wants to attack at the same time as this guy is here, and these guys want to keep contacting. If you don't, then what happens is you get all the enemies move up to the top here and eliminate these before these guys can get up, and then once they've dealt with them, they'll come down and they'll deal with these guys. So timing is key, and also staying kind of sneaky. The only other problem with this is you've split your groups up as well into 3 smaller groups, which is a lot easier for the enemy to deal with if they attack on one at a time. So timing is key. If you attack all at the same time, this will work. The last type is quite a common tactic, but again, it's not really used too much in squad. So a lot of the times, especially in squad, what will happen is you'll have kind of an FOB in the back, say like here or up here, and all the enemies are running into there. So if you're doing a flanking attack, that can cause problems because they'll attack there. So if you're kind of doing a pincer movement, you kind of come around here and come around here, and then you'll have to deal with these guys on the left. So if they are being reinforced like that, then the actual best method, and even though it takes longer, is to take your squad up and around and then go back like that, or just to take guys and attack from the back, take their fob and then move in, and then this squad moves in from that way. Now sometimes you need 2 or 3 squads to do this, but this is quite a useful attack, because what this does is, again, it splits the enemy into 2. So now we got enemies going to be going this way, and effectively you're squashing them into one position. And again, what you want to do is leave no room for them to escape, so maybe attack from all angles, try and circle them. And yeah, that's the 3 main types of flanking which can be used in squad, and if you guys like, I'll happily do a video showing how they look in game. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope this has helped.